Please join us now in extending a warm virtual welcome to another member of the numismatic world. Today, Patrick McBride checks in with Boar Sizzle. Let's take a few moments to enjoy a visit with Patrick, as he kindly goes under the loop.
And there he is. Hey there, Pat. How are you doing? Are you doing okay?
Doing very well.
Okay, I'm glad you were able to join us. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. You go ahead. What were you going to say?
I say that the name of your podcast is apropos to the coin show environment right now. Boar Sizzle is a good.
Yeah.
A lot of shows maybe have the.
Okay. Now I was trying to figure out what to call it. I was putting everything together, and I just was running through various things, and I thought I like 2-word things, and I wanted something that said coin, and boar seems to just encapsulate all of that, and then I wanted to give it some pizzazz, and so that's where we get the sizzle, and there we go. But of course, our special segment with you is called Under the Loop, where we do not look at a coin under the loop. No, we put you under the loop for just a few minutes there. Let's let the folks see a little bit about you. Here we go. We are with Mr. Patrick McBride. Let's look at some gold nuggets and silver pieces about this gentleman. Very esteemed, very well known in the coin community. He's dedicated a significant part of his life service to the coin world. And we are, like I said, really, really happy to have him today. All right, so first nugget here, Pat. A little birdie told me that you started collecting coins in 1962. Is this correct?
Oh yes, I'm quickly approaching 72 years of age. So
okay. Well, I want to tell you what's significant about that year. And I want to tell you what's significant about a week from today. And that year, something will happen where I will acknowledge something about my own self. So I found that to be quite interesting. When I saw that year, I said, interesting. How about that? But that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, and as we've been telling people, you're a distinguished member and officer of the Pennsylvania Association of Numismatists, and it's better known as PAN. Now you're currently the president. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I was elected president after our former president, Tom Uram, who's currently the president of the ANA.
That's right. I met him in Pittsburgh last summer. Yeah.
Yes, Tom travels a lot to a lot of shows, but and he's still on our board. He comes to all the meetings, and he's still very active in PAN. But the ANA keeps him pretty busy also. So
okay.
And now I've been secretary of PAN since probably the mid 1980s. So I've certainly got a feel how the organization runs.
That's the thing. I thought I also saw you've been a member since 1984. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. No, I'm not meaning this to drill you and to bring truth to the Under the Loop title. I'm just wanting to make sure that everybody knows that you have just your degree of dedication. That's really what I'm trying to bring across here to everybody. Okay, now. You are not most, but you are extremely famous, and it's kind of a dual thing here of do people know Pat or do they know Ben Franklin? You have a dual persona as Mr. Franklin, and you appear at various events as in his garb. And again, I want to save a little more discussion to find out about the association with Ben Franklin a little bit later. But just to keep to finish things up for us here, I like to include a little fun fact about folks. And I saw a little blurb that said you've got your background includes that in wallpaper hanging. Did you do that for a little period of your life?
Oh, it was a long period of my life.
Okay.
In Ben Franklin's world, I would have been considered a tradesman.
Okay, there we go. There we go. No, that's fantastic. That's great. And when did you stop hanging up wallpaper?
Well, actually, I was working right up till about a year and a half ago.
Oh my
I,
goodness, how
I
about that? Okay. So,
but
when I did not realize that is that's very, very interesting. What I'd like to do now is I'd like to take a look at the website for PAN, and I thought you and I could take a look at it and maybe go over some things that here we see that the Pan Fall Coin Show is coming up October 17th through the 19th, so it is about 2 weeks away. Well, is that right? 2 weeks.
about
It's one. Yeah. A little. Maybe three. Is it 3 weeks? I'm thinking of. Yeah, about 3 weeks. It's about 3 weeks, and uh, but how is the planning coming along for that?
Oh, we're doing very well. Our bourse floors sold out. We have a rather long waiting list right now, and we're getting phone calls every day about can I get in, or are there any tables available? So
Okay.
uh, the other thing that I'm getting with some of our dealers is they want to add additional tables to what they have, and we're being
Ah.
able to do that.
I won't ask you to give away any secrets, but I guess you have to make various decisions about whether or not to open that space up for another person or to maybe give a long time, a loyal dealer a little more room. I know that those are the kinds of decisions that have to be made. But the reason that it is this way is because your organization is just fantastic, Pat. It is a well-oiled machine, and you just do everything top notch and a number one. I have. I think that you are a model for other state organizations to follow. And not only that, I feel like your organization itself is a model for other organizations to follow. So I really appreciate the professionalism. I get communications as a member. I am a member of PAN, and so I get communications. I just went to my mailbox, was it yesterday, and I had the information from the show, and I believe it's is it quarterly that you produce the magazine? Is that correct?
Well, almost. It's 3 times a year.
3 times a
So
year. Okay. And yeah, but you're staying in touch with members. You're letting them know what's going on, and I feel that that's just really, really important. And you're maintaining that connection. Let's. I think we were talking about the floor plan and the deals. Let's take a quick. And here you can see. I love the clock here. It's like everybody's on the clock. There are 20 days. So you have been warned. Let's take a quick look at the floor plan here, and let me see if I can make this a little larger so that people can enjoy. Again, the website location is scrolling beneath. I wanted to make sure everybody had an opportunity to see that again. It's www.pancoins.org. So you can easily get there, but let me see if we can make this a little larger. And
yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, I've got. Let me see here. Let me do it.
I talk a bit about what that is. I created this out of just a plain Excel spreadsheet. So anybody that knows how spreadsheets are or Excel, it's mainly an accounting program for numbers, and each of those little squares are on an Excel sheet are like little number blocks that you would do in accounting. Well, what I did with them is I expanded them to be, instead of little rectangular places to put numbers, I made them into squares and put dealer names in there instead of a number. And then,
Okay. Yeah, well, actually, I will go ahead and confess that just as you're secretly or not secretly a tradesman of wallpaper hanging, I am secretly or not secretly a tradesman as a CPA. I have 30 years of experience of doing that, so I appreciated your use of the terminology there and the techniques. That's great. Now, is there anything else on this page in particular you'd like for us to look at before we leave it, or did you just want to get the effect of and letting people know that this is how things are organized essentially?
well, I would only say we don't have to dwell on that, but if you go to our website, I always like to keep pertinent information. This is the critical information at 20 days out from our coin show. So, that's type of information I like to have handy where you don't have to go into a website and try to hunt through a bunch of pages to find, a dealer map or a
Okay.
dealer
Okay.
list. So everything is kind of on our front page. I view
Okay,
it as a
let me see if we can get us back there. So I'm going to scroll up now, and you go ahead and you just let us know what you want us to know. Okay.
now, we have there's a picture of the show floor where we just went past. Now the next thing is the hotel when there's a room block, and if you see that picture of the hotel near the convention center, you can easily click that and book your room. And then nothing works without raising some extra money. Part of
So we got a little raffle here.
a little raffle going on, and this is pretty cool because it's an MS-66. I think that's an NGC one, but a $20 gold piece,
That,
And I
that,
always,
that, that those don't grow on trees, do they?
no, they don't. They don't. I love that phone call. We draw the winning ticket out of a barrel. You don't have to be present to win, but that's a phone call I make that everybody loves to get.
I
And
oh,
then
I can imagine that. And how much are your raffle tickets there?
they're only $10, so you
Okay.
got a chance of winning something worth 3,000 or more. So
Okay,
that
no, no, and you can feel good because if you don't win, you've helped to you know fund the show and to move and you've helped a lot of people out. So I think that it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, we do those every show. Then as we're scrolling down, we have an iconic banquet. This next picture is our banquet dinner that it's always on Thursday nights, and we usually have them at a restaurant overlooking the city of Pittsburgh with the convergence of the three rivers. That is the
Okay,
mouth.
okay, yeah. I grew up for reasons I won't go into the entire period from 1972 to say 81.
Yeah.
From Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I was your most loyal Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and so I was very very familiar with Three River Stadium and the whole thing. So okay, and then we're gonna have some lectures.
Now that's interesting there. If you hold for a second, go back just a tiny bit, but our Clarion editor, which you said you just got your issue in the mail. Richard Jewell was a longtime PAN and board member. He was our magazine editor. Now,
Okay.
unfortunately, he just passed
Oh,
away.
I'm sorry about that.
Oh yeah, last August. So Stax contacted me, and you see on there we renamed our lecture series because he always organized that, and we're going to call it the Richard C. Jewell Lecture Series, sponsored by Stax Bowers. So,
Okay. Okay.
so we put him on board to as a tribute to Richard. So
Now, is this for this show, or will this be ongoing in some way?
ongoing,
It will be
ongoing.
ongoing. Okay.
Yes, so they're glad to do it. They like the idea, and so I was able to organize. And one thing I tell everybody when I'm trying to do things for PAN, and this includes Stacks Powers, I says, well, we talk about money and what do they get for the money and this and that. I says, even if this falls apart, you have the just the unique experience of saying I negotiated with Ben Franklin.
How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? I don't
Where,
know.
where
I don't know. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's see what and the man himself. There we go. So we have yourself. Would you like to say a few words about your other compatriots here?
my friends there, the fellow on the left is Dennis Boggs, which many of you know is Abraham Lincoln, and all three of us are at the Pan Show. The fellow on the right is rather new to reenacting. His name is Kurt Radabaugh, and he plays General George Washington. So the three of us are always set up at
No,
various
not,
shows.
and I like many other people have seen you in action. So, and have always, again, it adds to the atmosphere of the show. And I know they really appreciate you doing it.
Well, the interesting thing about that image is that was created by Jamie Frankie, who's our coin designer on our Jefferson nickel with the three-quarter pattern Jefferson nickel. Jamie contacted me about doing something for us, and he just did it out of the goodness of his heart. And so he did that imagery. He has me in a rather mischievous look while my head gets struck by a bolt of lightning, but Lincoln more more serious because of what he went through during the war, and same with the general. So the more
Oh my goodness! Now this I think this is just great. And as I say, I encourage everybody to attend, to appreciate. If you've never seen Mr. Pat do his thing, then you should show up and treat yourself to. And so here's a nice little show. And you do not sleep. You don't rest on your laurels, do you, Pat?
I'm always trying to think of other things. Our show floor is about for all the farmers out there. It's about an acre of floor space.
Okay, okay. So we could grow something if we needed to, right?
We have if we get that.
But no, but you've got it all planned for the next couple of years, and again, I go back to what I said earlier. You just got a well-oiled machine. You're always thinking, and I really appreciate the whole professional nature of the organization. Okay, let's. I was thinking we might want to learn a little bit more about you and things of that nature. So, let me do something here. All right, so again, I appreciate you joining us today so much. I tell you, I want to go back sort of to what happened in 1962. Could you sort of, we said that you got interested in 1962. What was it that captured your eye about coins in that year? Just, I know that I think everybody just kind of likes an old coin. If they got change and they see something, they just kind of hold on to it. Is that the way it started for you?
Well, in '62, I would have been 10 years old. So
Okay.
little boy, I was, we saw in circulation. Of course, everything was silver back then too. We were still on the gold standard, and silver coinage was everywhere. And but the early ones that I started saving out of change were, of course, the standing Liberty quarters. A lot of them were pretty worn. The Buffalo nickels fascinated me as a boy. I'm just sort of fascinated with the artwork of the coins.
Okay.
Not
Could you repeat that for us? So currently, what are your interests currently?
currently. Oh boy, let's see. My whole numismatic journey has been quite a path.
And I tell you what, I do not know the answer to this question at all, but do you have your own little personal collection, or do you just how have you handled that?
I I have years of jumping in and out of favorites and collecting
Okay,
coins. I think,
okay.
and after I got out of high school and went to college, and um, then came back, and I started. What was interesting is my father-in-law um, came to live with us. He was a coal miner up in Connellsville, PA. So
Okay.
he had black keys, but he was a coin collector. So we, of course, he's living with us, and we start getting his mail, and one of the things that always arrived in the mailbox was numismatic news. So
Okay.
I started reading it again, and I says, "Oh man, I'm getting back interested in that." And so I started delving back into digging back in. I
Okay.
married, so I started collecting Mercury dimes, and I was pretty serious about it. I had
Okay.
a,
Okay.
and then it drifted off into so many other things. Because what happens is when you start joining coin clubs, and this is imperative for anybody that's delving into numismatics, I'm not saying you can't do it. You can if you want. But if you're cloistered in your private little study with your coins and you're never interacting with other coin collectors, you're denying yourself so much enrichment that fellow
Okay.
collectors.
Okay.
It
I appreciate you saying it, and I don't know if anyone has directly told me that, but hearing you say that, it really is so true. It really is.
is. So I got into, I started getting serious about bust half dollars because I met a fellow in the bust half nut club, and this is when you would do attribution
Now we
through.
got to be careful with that term. Do you want to do you want to describe that term just so people don't for our people who may not be as familiar?
Yes, these are people that are, I guess they have an obsession with the half dollars. They were,
Okay, okay. Yeah, no. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to, just in case, just in case.
but I met a guy that was in one of the coin clubs. Actually, it was Western Pennsylvania Numismatic Society, one of the oldest coin clubs in the country. They were founded in 1878, and one of the key members, founding members, was George Clapp, who had a killer large cent collection. I mean,
Wow. Okay. Okay.
this thing was impressive, and the club still exists. It meets every month. But I met some really knowledgeable people when I became a member of them, and he and this fellow got me interested in bust halves for a while.
Okay.
Then deviated and started having a fascination with ancient coins and delved
Okay.
into.
Yeah. One of my recent guests was a Mr. Mike Markowitz. I'm not sure if you know Mr. Mike. Okay.
Okay, he is like the premier
Okay.
student.
Okay. Okay.
And so I fell into the not so much of the Roman Republican period, but the imperial realm of the Caesars, and started collecting denarii and sestertius, and I, I I wasn't rich enough to collect REI.
Oh, no. I can imagine. Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
I delved into that, and then as I went through my Roman period,
So,
which and
so you do think about Rome. You are one of these people that does think about the Roman Empire every now and
oh yeah,
then.
and
Okay, okay.
as it moved eastward to the Byzantine era,
Uh-huh.
the didn't call themselves Byzantine. They viewed themselves as Roman, but they
Okay.
were, they were in Constantinople then, or the old ancient town of Byzantium.
Uh-huh.
So I selecting them. Now I should say now moving into, I was really got into exhibiting coins, competitive exhibiting. This is a key thing for any good coin show. If you have a good competitive exhibit area, that is a very wonderful asset to have to a coin show. Now, and so I've won first place at A&A shows for
Wow. Okay, okay.
my Byzantine coins.
Now,
My
let me ask you this. Do you remember what was your youngest age when you first won one of those competitions?
Oh, this was the first one I won was first place, and it
But
was
but what year was that?
1989.
Okay, that's
And,
right. So you were doing well there in the 80s. Okay, very good, very good.
and I was shocked because I believe that one was oh, I know what that was. Paper money. It was MPC's military payment certificates. I got
Okay, okay.
and the later military money from the Vietnam period is very colorful, and the imagery and engraving, I should say.
Okay.
was,
But no,
is
it's a plausible yet a unique theme, and you were able to make it unique to you. I think that's what I'm hearing anyway. Would you agree on that?
oh yeah, yes. So my journey through numismatics is gone on two levels. It's the collecting level, and of course the mechanics of being involved with a major coin organization that puts
Yeah,
on
yeah. No,
and
no,
that
and I know that you've got a way to too. I recently spoke with a dealer, and his quagmire is, he sees a great coin, and does he get it to resell it, or does he get it to stash it away? And it's sort of a moment of torment for him, every now and then. So it's a different area of torment. You're doing it. It hits you in a little bit differently, but everybody gets hit with it in some way.
oh yeah, dealers. I often thought exactly the same thing. It has to be tough doing a deal with you. Don't be thinking. Of course, you'll go bankrupt. but
No, that's it. And that's it. You've got to make the right decision. Because otherwise, that is true.
oh yeah, and it's like that. So my journey through, and you meet the most incredible people. One of our pan shows, Greg Wyman. He still is the attorney for the U.S. Mint. Now, Greg brought it to our show, not one but two of the 1933 $20 gold pieces.
Okay, okay,
Gave a lecture about the controversy and the litigation. It was an incredible lecture. He brought two of them to show both the obverse and reverse. So that was pretty cool.
okay. Well, there are two sides to every coin, and
There's
there
two
you go. There you go. Oh my
in life
goodness.
loaded with controversy. So that and, Ben Franklin sells newspapers.
All that coin controversy, and definitely that's what it's all about. It's all about controversy, isn't
it, it is about that. And so, these sorts of things allowed me to move in my journey, and not just collecting, but the people you meet and the relationships you have, and That's an incredible
I say you met a lot of people, made a lot of friends, haven't you?
yeah, yes, and I do it. I used to do a talk before my Ben Franklin days about I called it rare coin basics, and people love that because I went really I approached it for the you know nothing about this, and you come to the my talk to see how do I go about this, and what I did was. I show examples of all my mistakes that I made in collecting,
Okay,
and guess
okay,
so, and then I tell them how to correct that.
okay,
So,
okay.
so that was one of my favorite
But,
lectures
but
I
but
used
that's
to.
just that you want teacher and you don't want people you want people to do the good things you've done, not the bad things, and you want to get them as make things as easy for them as you can, and that again all appreciated.
No, no, that's kind of my mindset with all this stuff, and I lived through the grading service days. When I was young, there were no grading service other than the annex photos they took on those little postcards that you would actually send to the ANA. But that was it for getting a coin graded. But
Uh-huh.
then BCGS, the idea of grades and splitting uncirculated grades. In the old days, it was just 60, 63, and 65.
Uh-huh.
Didn't weed stuff. And that was loaded with
And
speaking of newspapers and controversy, they're quite the headlines in Coin World and Num News about the idea of that. And yeah, I lived through all that.
okay, okay. Well, I tell you, we're getting kind of close on our time, but I just had a thought of uh, there has to be a book, although your life is may just be captured on film as it's being done right now. But is there's a written document that's about all of your experiences that is either in the works, is being planned, or something like that?
Well, I don't have anything like that, a little memoir, but I view myself as insignificant.
No, no,
I,
no, no. I think there are a few thousand people that have a different opinion. So, don't, I feel like, a lot of your history is captured because you are such a notable person in the coin community that a lot of it is on film. But it might be something. I don't know if there's an ambitious writer out there that might want to tag behind you for a period of time and get some of this documented. Either on paper or digitized somehow so that people can have all this information in one place. But that's my little idea I'm sending out to the world here. Okay. All right. Well, listen, we are coming up a little bit on time, but we haven't even scratched the surface of everything that you have to say, to offer, to as I say, you hear that phrase, haven't scratched the surface, and it really does apply in this particular case. So I would like to, I'm going to do two things. First thing I want to do is extend an invitation to you so that if you're willing to maybe come and see us again sometime in the future, would you be willing to do that?
oh, absolutely, I surely would. So,
Okay.
no,
Now,
no,
everybody, we're holding them to it. I'm just kidding. The other thing I wanted to do is before we leave, since I think probably just because of the nature of the time we are in and we're getting close to the coin show, is there something else you might want to say about the coin show before we head out, or anything about anything else, before we that you might want the viewers to know about here as we're moving into the middle of October?
yes, no. If you come to our pan show or the fun show in January or the ANA and some other shows, you can find me in Independence Hall. That's my backdrop. which would been in yeah, because
Yeah,
everybody at the major coin show, usually their feet are pretty tired, and so they could certainly sit in one of my Windsor chairs and
okay, okay.
talk a little bit about history, coinage, and the coinage of, especially the coinage of Ben Franklin's time, the coinage.
Sure, sure, sure.
So
Okay.
just step into my office if you
Okay, please take a load off. Right, right. Gotcha, gotcha. All right. Well, listen, Pat.
office. Oh,
Listen, I cannot thank you enough for taking the time today. It's again, I hope that everybody is able to take a look at this before the show and can learn some things not only about the show, more about you. Get excited for beyond the show because, as you say, yes, we're doing this in a couple 3 weeks, but you're active in so many other areas that they're going to have a chance to catch you. So, but anyway, as I say, I appreciate you being here and looking forward to finding out more about you in the future. But other than that, like I said, just appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon. Okay.
okay,
All
well,
right.
here you
You take care. Okay.
have it now.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.